Hi Cambridge class, so like I said yesterday, today we will be recapping some of the word classes that you have covered so far. To start with, what I'd like you to do is match the word with its definition. So you've got noun, adjective, verb and adverb. Which one is a word or a group of words that tells you what a person or thing is being or doing? It is often called a doing word. A describing word, it is a word used to describe or tell you more about a noun. It usually comes before a noun, but sometimes it can be separated from its noun and come afterwards. Tells you more about the verb, it adds to the verb. It nearly always answers the questions how, when, where, how much, how often. A naming word, a word used for naming an animal, a person, a place, a feeling, or a thing. Pause the video and match the words with their definitions. Okay, so a doing word, the action words, that they are verbs. Describing words usually tell you more about the noun, that's an adjective. Tells you more about the verb, answering the questions how, when, where, how often, how much, that's an adverb. And a naming word, a person, a place, a thing, a feeling, they are nouns. Well done if you got those right. So what I'd like you to do is look at this grammar spotter. And you've got to find different things in different sentences. First, let's discuss what the terminology means. So we know that nouns are naming words, we know that verbs are doing words, we know that adjectives are describing words, and we know that adverbs usually modify or describe a verb. Preposition. The key letters in here are position. It tells you where in relation to something else the actual word is. And a coordinating conjunction, think of fanboys. Okay, now I'd like you to pause the video and write down any nouns you see in the first sentence, verbs in the second, adjectives in the third, adverbs in the fourth, prepositions in the fifth, and coordinating conjunctions in the sixth. So nouns, we've got boy, we've got cockpit, and we have got seat. Well done if you got those. Verbs, we have got vibrated, it's how, it's the action that the aeroplane did. We've got flew. So here, setting can be a verb, however in this sentence it's describing the sun, so it's been used as an adjective. Can we find any adjectives in this one? In the next row sat a pale girl with blonde hair down to her waist. Got to think about where the nouns are, and they're usually describing the nouns. So we've got pale to describe the girl, blonde to describe the hair. Adverbs. She was determinedly not looking out of the window. And here we've got determinedly. Preposition is behind Fred, and the coordinating conjunction is and here. Well done if you got those right. Okay, we've got some new words to have a look at. Modal verbs tell you how likely something is happening. And modal verbs, they express necessity or possibility. Subordinating conjunction, that is white bus. And then down here you've got to try and add commas for the relative clause, add some speech punctuation, add a comma for the fronted adverbial, and add a comma for a list. Pause the video and have a go at this. Okay, the modal verb is could, and all the modal verbs include must, shall, will, should, would, can, could, may, and might. The subordinating conjunction, that is before. Okay, next, can you add commas for the relative clause? The man who was struggling to breathe gave a cough that sounded like a choke. Relative clauses tell us extra information, so the man, comma, who was struggling to breathe, comma, gave a cough that sounded like a choke. If we got rid of this, it would say, the man gave a cough that sounded like a choke. It would still make sense. And who is our relative pronoun? And a relative clause always starts with a relative pronoun. The speech punctuation. Are you alright, sir? He asked. Is there something I can do? So he's speaking right from the beginning. He stops speaking here, so we close them after the question mark. And then he carries on speaking, so we open them again, and then we close them after the question mark. Comma for the fronted adverbial. Fighting for breath, the pilot shook his head. Some adverbials, haven't we? It's after breath. It's how he shook his head. Comma for a list. The roar of the engine ceased, the nose of the plane dipped downwards, and the trees rose up. So it's a list of things that happened to the aeroplane. The roar of the engine ceased, comma, the nose of the plane dipped downwards, and the trees rose up. We don't need a comma here because we've got an and already. Well done. The extra challenge is to write a noun, a verb, an adjective, and an adverb for every letter of the alphabet. And what you could do is list the alphabet all the way down your page and put like a noun first and then a verb next, then an adjective and then an adverb, and just see how many letters of the alphabet you can get covered. Feel free to email me what you managed to do. See you later.